Hello everyone, I am Castle95 and tonight we're going to talk about EC3 versus Johnny Impact from Impact Wrestling. Now, what they are doing with EC3, his last couple of appearances that are left until April. I honestly expect that since he's leaving that he will start to job around maybe or get fired as soon as possible or something, but the thing is with Lashley and Laurel Vanez and EC3, Impact is actually going to try to justify why they are leaving within the kayfabe. That way a door will be still open and they can come back anytime. I explained this in the video about OV versus Lashley, but basically that's the idea. So what they are doing with EC3 is they are kind of relaxing the character a bit, like back to 2014 EC3 when a more immature EC3, before Matt Hardy screwed him over. But add to his ego that now he's a former two-time world heavyweight champion, and that's why he's getting crazier and crazier. And by the way, I loved when he said, "Good to have you back, friend. Good to be back, friend." And you have freaking Tyrus back in the Impact Zone. I mean, Tyrus was cool when he was with Ethan all those months, and having him back, like kind of a goodbye for EC3 in Impact Wrestling, remembering some of his past. And I like how he's acting backstage when he, last week in the four-way, in the tag team match or during the four-way, he enters the Impact Zone and he throws some guy's coffee over and starts acting like an idiot. It's kind of what they are doing with Alberto. They are getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Like Alberto is just trying to think that really he is the reason why people watch Impact and saying, "This is my ring, this is my company, I'm the reason this product is important and relevant and you should adore me and worship me every day." And he's getting even crazier and crazier as time goes on, and I love it because it's super entertaining to watch. But Ethan is kind of getting more clowny and immature like every week, and I really like that because it's kind of a throwback to his previous form, let's say, like before, he making a face turn in 2015, after the World Title Series, the Matt Hardy, the big money Matt thing, and Spot screwing him at Lockdown, and it was a different EC3 from that point on. But now he's getting a little bit more crazy, and I really like that. Dancing in backstage with Tyrus, and then his promo with Mackenzie saying, "We are basically the Avengers. I'm a combination of Iron Man, the Captain America, and Thor. Like, what the fuck?" And then he's saying, "Is EC3 here or it's EC3 there? Who knows? You will never know." And I don't know if it's already official that he has signed with WWE or something. But anyways, maybe they are not allowed to use him until these episodes air or something. But he already appeared on NXT, between the crowd, and they presented him as EC3. So that's weird. Did you imagine a Carter working for WWE, within the kayfabe? Dixie Carter already appeared in, I think, a documentary about Kurt Angle or something. But it will be cool that in an NXT show it starts and the Titans shows Ethan Carter the third. That will be great. And if for some reason in the future EC3 comes back to Impact, that would be really special. But anyways, the match. I like how in general, Johnny Impact is booked like this American superhero action stunt double, daredevil, and the coolest thing on the planet Earth. Like when he's working currently for AAA too. He just lost the title there, like the world title, which is the Mega Championship or something. I don't really watch AAA that often, but his theme song is Born and Raised in the USA, and with the flag and the abs and the glasses and everything, everything he does is like things are exploding behind Johnny Impact, and every time she speaks is like, it's kind of a modern version of Hulk Hogan, I will say. Not in the repercussion he has on the mainstream, because a lot of people will say you can't compare those two, because obviously, but I'm speaking about the character. It's like America, fuck yeah, and that's cool. And the guy is really awesome as a face. Fans love it, and especially because of the rivals that Impact has put in front of Johnny Impact, because Eli Drake is a piece of shit. Basically everybody loves to hate that guy, because that guy is really cool. he's really good at getting hate because he's a bad guy and he's one of the best. And you know, having Johnny Impact versus Eli Drake the entire road to Bound for Glory, and after that adding Alberto to the equation, where Alberto is getting crazy and crazy and is treating Johnny Impact like a kid, saying Juanito Impact, he doesn't deserve anything because he's fake, and you know, I'm a man and he's just a little boy and I'm going to kick his ass, whatever. That's awesome, and that's why one of the reasons why Johnny Impact is so cool. But anyways, the match, I think this hasn't happened. Yeah, this hasn't happened before in Impact Wrestling. I don't know if it has happened at the Indies or anything, but I like how they start exchanging holds and then playing the mat, and then Impact starts showing off his athleticism with flips and stuff. And by the way, I wanted to comment, like, the video packages in this new season of Impact Wrestling are getting better and better. Like the one for this match was awesome. The one for Austin Aries versus Eli Drake was amazing. The one for Hanaya Alejandros versus Rosemary was also super cool. And yeah, so great job. Those look amazing. So I would say the first third of the match is kind of slow and there's really nothing much going on. But the match starts to, you know, kind of raise his pace and becoming more interesting when Johnny Impact starts doing his parkour using the ropes in the corner and, you know, kicking EC3 a couple times, and then EC3 pushes him before he gets to do an springboard, and Impact hits the floor, and then Tyrus attacks him, and, you know, then a kind of a brawl ringside. Then I like the sequence where Impact starts hitting EC3 with jabs, jab, jab, jab. Then EC3 reverses an Irish whip and stamps Impact into the corner. I think that was cool. Although that move of throwing your opponent with all your forces into the corner, I personally don't like it, but some of my favorite wrestlers do it, like, you know, EC3, Adam Cole, Jaren Simmons, but whatever. I also like the spot of the DDT, like when EC3 slaps the back of Impact and then just drives him through the mat, and Impact sells it like with a front flip, and he starts like walking with spaghetti legs and then hits EC3 with a kick, and then both collapse. That's cool. That was different. You don't see that on TV often. Like, talking about companies like Impact Wrestling, well, in the companies I follow, like Impact Wrestling, ICW, Defiant, and Stardom, you don't see that, and that's why I thought it was cool. Then of course the sequence with clothesline, leg lariat, shining wizard, and then the standing shooting star press from Impact, Johnny Impact is just amazing. Like, the guy is so smooth, so professional, so good. He knows what he can do, and he does it like perfectly. So I love that. And then the deadlift power bomb by EC3 also looked cool. Another thing I didn't expect was another Spanish fly from Johnny Impact to EC3. We've seen this in the 4-way, I think, and watching it again, that move just looks super cool. And then another thing I didn't expect was the super TK3 from the second rope, you know, from the corner, and that looked great. I mean, I like when wrestlers sell these kinds of moves, like landing flat, like facing down, and flat, like boom, instead of putting his knees or something. Like, I know maybe this looks like a scary bomb and it's super dangerous, of course, I know that, but you know, it just looks even cooler if you land flat on your face. And yeah, so that was a sick move. And yeah, so Tyrus distracts Impact again, you know, pulling the ropes, and Ethan tries to pin him again using the same technique with his feet on the rope, but Impact resists the count because, you know, he's been there before. Also, another thing I didn't expect was that Impact would resist a 1%er. Like, clearly EC3 is leaving, and anyways, so. But this is not as strange as we would think, because Johnny Impact actually wrestled twice the same night. You remember that when he put on the line his spot against Eli Drake. I think he wrestled KM and Tejano. Yeah, they are like not main characters, but you know, they are booking Johnny Impact as a really relentless wrestler that never gives up and stuff. And you know, he resisted a 1%er. I just didn't saw that coming. And then EC3 gets mad at Tyrus for some reason, because this is, you know, remember, this is a more immature EC3, more crazier EC3, and he just blames Tyrus for everything. Tyrus does what Tyrus always does, which is leaving like a bitch. Like he always does this. I don't know. I don't know why, but I would be down to watch Tyrus versus EC3 again. Remember those two matches that Tyrus had with Galloway and EC3? Those were great, and I think he can do it again, and I would love to see that happening again. Of course, it will be a street fight, cause when Impact says goodbye to someone, they usually make him or her have a street fight. Just ask Mike Bennett and Jade and a bunch of others. So in the end, Impact wins with Starship Pain, and yeah, so he is going to face Austin Aries at Crossroads in 2 weeks. And Aries comes out, shakes the hand of Johnny Impact. They stand across each other, and man, what a picture. You know, this is a dream match. I think this has happened before somewhere in the world, but not on Impact Wrestling, not on TV, and this is going to be a hell of a match. Like, this will be the second official defense for Austin Aries, I think, if they don't make him wrestle next week, which I don't think is going to happen. But I would like to hear from Johnny Impact, because we've heard from EC3 saying, you know, he pinned Johnny Impact in the tag team match, and then he's saying that he's going to face Aries, he's going to beat Impact's ass, whatever. But Impact hasn't said anything about it, and I would like him to acknowledge what this match represents. You know, it's different, because now Austin Aries is playing a face character, and we had a reign of terror by Eli Drake, and you know, this a face versus face match, it could be, of course, it's going to be 100% about competition, but also in the video package about Eli Drake versus Austin Aries, they show that Eli is not done with the main event division. Like, he wants his title back, and he's saying like, Eli Drake's coming for you. You know, that's dangerous, and you should be watching what you're doing, because the gravy train is going to kill you or something. So that makes me think, is he going to interfere? Also, Moose and Alberto had a match here. Alberto obviously wants to be the world champion, and Moose is just waiting for that opportunity. So I think the main event scene is really crowded at this season, like comparing with, for example, After Bound for Glory, where was Pete Williams, Eli Drake, Johnny Impact, and Alberto. And before that was the same Eli Drake, Garza Jr., and Johnny Impact, and maybe Chris Adonis, we maybe can say that. But here we have a lot of people aiming for that world title, and I just love how things are shaping up. And so yeah, actually I really enjoyed the show, and I can't wait for Crossroads in 2 weeks to watch Austin Aries versus Johnny Impact. So that will be it for this video. I hope you like it. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.